Alright, you guys, so we got this Camaro in here. This is a SS and it has the 6.2 in it. We pulled this motor out. Before I show you guys, we pulled this motor out because we were doing a lifter. A lifter failed on this car, and I don't know where the lifter went. Alright, so I don't know where the lifter went for this, but the lifter failed and it actually broke in half. And let me find, here it is right here. So the cam's really not that bad, but the lifter bearing or the roller end broke in half. And we were taking the engine apart and then saw this sticker on the back side of the engine, and that says Jasper Engines. So this engine, which I knew it wasn't right because it had blue valve springs, and I'd never seen that in an LS engine, less aftermarket valve springs. And so the lifter failed. We found this, and then we found the Jasper engine thing. Then if you come over here to the oil pump here, it was missing the bolts out of the oil pump. And we're like, okay, we need to go ahead and drop the oil pan instead of trying to time the engine without taking the oil pump off. But you got to drop the oil pan, and then you got to drop the subframe to get the oil pan out. So we were already right there because we had both heads off. So we went ahead and pulled the engine out because we were already there. The engine looks pretty healthy. Don't look at this yet. I know this is a spoiler. But the engine looked pretty healthy until we pulled the oil pan off. We pulled the engine out. We pulled the oil pan off. And I don't know where he did with all the pieces. Maybe it's right here. And this was in the oil pan, which this was broken. That's why we pulled the oil pump, or we wanted to pull the oil pump off, because we need to replace the tensioner slash guide. And we pulled the oil pan off and found all this metal, which this is a piece of the lifter, which is normal, you know, expecting to find this. But all these other big chunks right here are not from a lifter. And I told the other guy, this to me looks like a piston skirt. I was like, I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. So he pulls the oil pan off, finds the metal, pulls the splash tray out, and looks at the piston, and this is what he found. See, all this is missing. This piston has came apart. I'm not sure what actually happened. This car is not really, we bought this car and it's not really, you know, built. You know, it has headers on it, full exhaust, you got bigger tires in the back. You know, nothing crazy. So my guess is this car, the mileage on this thing is only 65,000 miles. So I believe what happened is the guy was running nitrous on this car, and I don't know, I'm not a race car person or nothing like that, but it seemed to me like he was running some nitrous on this thing. Because one of the cylinders looks a little burnt. The actual, I don't know if I'll be able to get it here on camera, because I don't have nothing to move the engine with, but you can see the skirt down there is actually, or the liner is cracked down there, and one of the cylinders actually looked, like I said, burnt. I don't know which cylinder it was, Yeah, I think it's at the bottom of it. But the cylinders actually, one of the cylinders looked burnt on there. And to me, it seems like he was running nitrous. Like I said, I really don't know. I'm not a race car guru or anything like that, so I don't really know. But it's pretty crazy to find, honestly. Like I said, this car came in just for a lifter, and now the engine's out with a broken piston. So this one will be going to the machine shop to get looked at and see what's going on with it, because obviously something's not right. It's either Jasper did something wrong, or he was running boost, nitrous, meth, whatever you want to call it, anything, and it wasn't tuned right, and it blew the engine up, is my guess. It broke the lifter, and then it demolished the piston, is my guess. Like I said, I really don't know what actually happened on this thing. But this is the way we bought it for resale, and it's kind of the stuff we run into. This is why I make videos, because we see literally crazy stuff like this. The car wasn't even showing a sign of a broken piston. It literally had a lifter noise, and we thought this car came with DOD, which it didn't, unless he changed it, or whoever was working on this thing changed it. But I'm guessing this car didn't come with DOD, and so I thought, you know, like before we pulled it apart, I thought it was the DOD, you know, little lifter spring collapsed on this thing, but it definitely wasn't that. It was a broken in half lifter. Like I said, I don't know where this lifter is. It's really hard to believe how this lifter actually broke, but I don't know where it's at. But that's literally, this is like the crazy things we find here. So I figured I'd show you guys this this morning, and